Alrighty. Well, without further ado, and with a little bit less messing around, I am live. Okay, so welcome to the show. My name's Ed, and I will be drawing some stuff and some things. And in this particular episode, I'll be drawing MC Hammer, the greatest entertainer to ever wear parachute pants. So I've already drawn this particular rough sketch a little while ago, and it's fine, but it's obviously not the pose I'm happy with. Like he's such a fantastic icon of the 90s. But it's actually better for me to make his pose a little bit more, I guess, dynamic looking. So what I do with this is I just take what I've currently already got, and I just repurpose it. It's honestly just easier than drawing it all over again. See, essentially what you want to do when you're sort of reworking something is to not sweat too much about how the rough is going to look. It's the finished art that matters at the end of the day. Is yeah, like I said previously, and also a welcome and shout out to everyone watching across the different platforms. This is inclusive but not restricted to Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Like at some point, I will also like include Instagram into the mix. I was getting a few technical issues with that, so I'll leave that where it is for now. Give them a bit more of a, I guess, a presence. So yeah, what else is new? Well, I am booked to do some more work overseas, which I'm very pleased about. But that's not until later on, towards it won't be for a while. This one's going to be relatively simple. Just got to find a decent enough photo of him. So this won't be an exact copy of his the outfit he wears in the Can't Touch This music video. But let's throw some ink work over the top of this and yeah, start getting it done. So one thing I have found about getting back into the live stream groove it just gives me a chance to sort of two birds, one stone. I'm getting like professional work done as well as just sort of doing a live demonstration of how it's done. Which reminds me, at some point I may as well add Discord to this ever-growing list of things I'm currently streaming to. Makes sense in the long run. So this was basically the decade that I taught myself how to draw. Like I've told this story before, but I may as well tell it again. Like I sort of became sort of very interested in drawing growing up, because the thing about drawing was it was fun, it was inexpensive, and most importantly for my parents at the time, it didn't make any noise. And I think that's why they really encouraged. Like, we didn't have musical instruments in the house. We sort of had a radio, but it was kind of, like it was just sort of playing golden oldies and classic hits. Easy listening stuff, basically. Which now that I'm myself in my 40s, all the music I grew up with is considered to be golden oldies and classic hits. Although I've found that calling music from the 90s and even the early 2000s golden oldies just sounds silly. Like, sure, they were from a significantly more innocent time, and I use the word innocent loosely because nostalgia has a funny way of helping you forget about how awful that time that you lived through actually was. It's like, hey, yeah, you know what actually happened back then? Yeah, I don't want to relive that, so let's file that away under the doom pile. Which is an acronym for didn't organize, only moved. I figured it'd just be easy to do some more live stream, like long content for a change, rather than just the standard. Like, I've been trying to make shorts for like YouTube and TikTok and that, but the stuff doesn't really like inspire. Like last year I was making heaps of what are they called, like the shorts and stuff, because those were really blowing up. So at that point, like, YouTube was really competing against TikTok, and I had like short videos just going absolutely gangbusters. But now it's a bit trickier to get those bad boys out there. It's mostly just because I've been focused on other stuff. I mean, this week has been fun, also very also messy. Because I'm currently in the process of rebuilding my studio. So I sort of do a little bit on it every single day, but for the most part just involves like moving stuff around, putting things into boxes, taking stuff out of boxes. Also getting other work done for other clients has been another thing. And it's interesting, like, I remember back when I was a kid, and the teacher asked what we wanted to be when we grew up. And at that age, like, I already knew I was gonna do something like this. That's what got me about, like, folks who always seem to say that they didn't know what they wanted to do when they grew up, and that just seemed like such a strange thing to say. Like, I get not having, like, a definitive answer right on the spot, because quite often you'd be asked these sort of questions, like one of those street interviews where, the poor person is just out for a bit of a shop, and they get accosted by a person with a microphone, and they ask them to do, like, some very simple but complicated sounding mathematics problem, and next thing you know, they're just like standing there looking like a bewildered deer in the headlights. But yeah, I always knew what I wanted to do. So rather than farting around with the flood fill, I'm just gonna just colour in. See, the way you want to draw these, if you do end up doing something similar to what I do, you want to draw these as quickly as you can. But still make them look like, halfway professional, decent. Yeah, I decided to, rather than laboriously write out all the links to all the social medias that I have, just sort of put them all in one place, attach a QR code to it and say, yep, that's how you get in touch, people. It's the future. Like, I like how that works. You're Just want to put stuff out there. And rather than, you know, having a business card that has all the links on the business card, which I actually have. Like I got them professionally made and they look really nice and I'm happy with how they came printed up. But at the same time, I'm just thinking I could have saved a lot of time just by putting everything on a convenient QR code. Like when QR codes were first introduced, I thought, okay, this is weird. And now I'm sort of embracing them a lot more. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, all they're doing is just like sending you to, you know, the social medias of the, of the person. A bit more tired than I thought. So I'm rewatching the show Invincible, and what I want to do is some more fan art from that show. I find that show really cool because there's stuff that you miss. Or you overlook, or just completely forget about when you watch it the first time. You have to watch it a second time. I found that as well with like video games. Like video games and movies are such like similar like genres of entertainment. Like there's so much overlap there. And like in many ways, video games have been influenced by movies. And the same way around. Like, watching a movie twice is kind of like a literal second playthrough. At least that's how I see it. Happy to be proved wrong. Yeah, the show Invincible is an absolute corker. I love it. Like, there's parts of it that remind me of the old, like, Batman animated series. Oh, excuse me. But the parts of it I don't like, I think would be the some of the line work looks rushed in places. You can tell when certain scenes have been animated by certain artists that are different from like the house style. I mean, it's only slightly different, but when you look at it, you just see it for what it is, and you just think, ooh, characters are slightly off model. I mean, it's nothing that's gonna like affect the enjoyment of the story. Whew. I think I'm more tired than I'm letting on here. Give him some cool textured pants. Now, just like previously, there's a good to high chance I won't be able to read chats on any other platform outside of Twitch, because I'm still very much trying to figure this out. But I'm closer than ever. Like, so what's on the schedule for the next one? Well, I want to put together some fan art stuff. So what's new in the world? Oh, that's right. I'll be doing some more travel coming up towards the end of the year. Travel is always cool. Like I used to travel mostly interstate. I sort of go to country New South Wales or whatever. Never really did a lot of like international travel. In fact, I used to be like not crazy about the idea of travel internationally to begin with, because I've been on enough domestic flights to know that, you know, you just get sort of cramped. Like I'm the kind of guy, like I'm not like mega tall, but I'm tall enough to where like economy seats become very annoying to sit in. Like they're annoying for like, you know, people who are under 6 feet tall. Like I know that they call it flying coach in the US, but out in Australia it's called economy. It's like I don't want to be like the guy who gets asked to sit in the emergency row, because that area usually never has a TV, or if they do, it's like on a wall or something. It's interesting how the real estate on planes can have a dramatic effect on the idea of the haves versus the have-nots. Like all that, like the barrier between the rich and the poor, literally in a lot of cases, is just a curtain of some kind. I want to keep this one to just an hour or just over an hour. anything that's too fancy. Like the one I did of Vanilla Ice last time. That was a little bit too extravagant. Like he had the multi-colored checkered pants. And the USA flag as his jacket. Not super happy with the gesture. I'd rather have him pointing at himself, as if to say, can't touch this. Yeah, I'll finish this up in the next 1 hour and I guess 10 minutes. So to give me a a nice buffer. Bit of an off-ramp for the job itself. Let's give him some rings. Also, one of the tricks I've found when doing these, try not to sit for too long. Your shoulders start to cramp up and the whole thing. So yeah, what I want to do is do some anime stuff in acknowledgement of the unofficial month where Star Wars Day happens. And that's Anime Day. Or if you want to expand it out, Anna May. Or is Annie May? I don't know. It's so interesting how socially acceptable anime has been, even when people didn't really know what it was. Like, I remember watching like Thundercats and Silverhawks and all these like shows when I was a kid. And I had no idea that they were all animated in Japan. Like these days, South Korea is also a big player when it comes to producing animation. But back when I was a kid, I was under the impression that all these shows, because they had like American voice actors and American writers and all that they were actually animated in the United States as well, but that turned out to be not 100% true. Right now, this particular texture pen is my favorite. Yeah, this one's close to finished. Maybe these final minor tweaks. Always make sure that I'm using the right pen. Cool. It's always nice to see that other profiles that I met ages ago when I was first starting out are still around. Like some of them just vanish forever. And that makes me a bit sad, you know. You ever remember it, like when an old website that used to be basically ubiquitous, which is now pretty much entirely defunct at this point? Like whenever that one gets mentioned in passing. Like, does anyone remember GeoCities? It's like, no. I remember GeoCities. And I had no idea what it was about. but I do remember that it was always there. And that takes me back. Actually, now that I think about it, whatever happened to GeoCities? Amazing. Yeah, good times. Back when Facebook was just a glimmer in Zuckerberg's unblinking eyes. No, I'm kidding. He actually looks really good these days. He's growing a beard. Bit of facial hair can work absolute wonders for a man's image. Cool. Alrighty. Well, this one looks like it was significantly easier to complete compared to the last one. just... Let me just get rid of these highlights, which I wasn't meant to draw on this layer. It's supposed to be on the other one, on the color layer. Fortunately, I'm not that tired. Cool beans. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. Okay, so yeah, once again, I wasn't particularly talkative through this particular episode, mostly because I was just concentrating and stuff, and the fact that I didn't really have anything sort of ready on hand to talk about. It's kind of weird. Like I'm still sort of getting used to the whole idea of going live across multiple platforms, but you know, live and learn. Anyway, I will be back hopefully with another one of these fairly soon. But yeah, until then, I'd like to send a huge thank you and shout out to everyone who stuck around and watched through the whole live stream on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and of course YouTube. I've been Ed, you've been awesome, and I'll see ya when I see ya.